I'm out at a park. It's a pretty sunny day, but the problem with nice sunny days like this is you can never see your touchscreen. That's one of the biggest problems I have with flying drones, is you just can't see your screen. Well, what if I told you that I had a solution for this that would allow you to see your screen perfectly? That it worked with almost any kind of cell phone. That it works with any brand of drones. It's not drone specific. And it costs less than 170 bucks. What if I told you I had a coupon code that would save you even more? Sound intriguing? Keep watching. Every time I go out to fly my drone, I have the same problem, and that's seeing the touchscreen on my, when it's connected on my controller. These smartphones just aren't bright enough to overpower the sunlight, and so you really struggle to see. You have to kind of cover it up like this, or hold it inside your coat, or turn your body so it's in your shadow or something. You just can't see these screens to see things like your telemetry or anything else that you want to see on the screen. Now, there are options that people have. One of the most common is these little folio type things you open up and you mount them on your phone when you connect it to your controller. I've never had much luck with those, and I just don't think they make it very easy to see your screen. And there are other options too. For example, you can buy a smart controller, and these controllers have really bright screens, and they kind of burn through all the sunlight and you can see what you're doing. Problems with that are that they're specific to a particular drone or a particular brand of drone. So if you're like me and you fly various brands, you got to have a smart controller for each brand of drone. The other problem is that you buy one of these things for $750 to $1,200 each, and then a year or two later the drone maker comes out with a new drone and a new drone controller, and your controller is not compatible, and you got to end up buying a whole new controller. That sucks. Another option is to get a real good touchpad, like a Triple Tech 8-inch Pro, I think it is. I'll confirm that name, I'm doing it from memory. But a Triple Tech 8-inch Pro that has an extremely bright screen and you can see it outside. Again, that starts out, I think, at $800 or so for that thing. And, you know, the way these things go, you know, a year or two, it may not be compatible with the drones that are coming out or the apps that the drone manufacturers are using. That happened to me with this iPad mini. I was flying with this with my Phantom 4 Pro. DJI came out with a new version of their Go 4 app, and all of a sudden this was not compatible anymore. Thanks a lot. It was about the time that they came out with the Crystal Sky touchscreen. I wonder if there's any correlation in there. Anyway, so you have that option too. The touchscreens, they're expensive, and you have to you have the risk of them becoming obsolete as well. Well, I was thinking about all this. I was actually looking at buying one of the Triple Techs and seeing if I could afford to buy one of those, because I really hate struggling with my screen. And I heard about a product named DroneMask. Originally, when I heard about it, it was named Magimask, but it has been rebranded, particularly for sale in the United States, and it's now called DroneMask. And this was a pretty simple concept. It was a mask that you would put on, and inside the mask you mount your cell phone, plug it into your controller, and now you've got your cell phone inside of an enclosed thing that you wear like an FPV view, so you can fly around and see your screen. Clearly they were targeting FPV flyers with this, and I have no interest in FPV flying. I'm amazed by what people do with it. Their talent is incredible, and I love watching the FPV video, but that's not for me. I want to be a photographer, a videographer. I want to fly and create, and so the goggles and things like that just haven't had much appeal to me. But I got to thinking about this product and thinking, rather than using it as an FPV drone, FPV viewing device, why not use it as a way to improve my view of my screen as I'm doing my aerial videography? If I did that, I could block out the sunlight so I can see my screen. I can use my cell phone this close to my face rather than down here, so my image is much bigger. It's not specific to any brand of drone, so I can use it on my Autel, I can use it on my DJI products. It's not going to go obsolete. It's, you know, because any cell phone works in it, and it's much cheaper than the other options. So this sounded like a really interesting idea, a different way of approaching goggles in general and the drone mask in particular than what maybe other people were thinking about for this product. Now, I had concerns, I had questions. Does it work? Obviously, is the first one. Is it good quality? You know, it costs $170 or so, and you know, so is it good quality? Can you wear it comfortably, or will it itch and pinch and rub and all that kind of stuff? And for someone like me, obviously, I have to be able to wear this thing over my glasses. And so that's a big concern as well. So I had concerns, but I was really intrigued by this idea. So I contacted the company that makes the drone mask and asked them if they would send me one to test out, and they did. So in this review, I'm going to go through the features and the build and all of the drone mask, and I'm going to tell you how it works and what I think of it. They did provide me with the mask at my request, but there was no commitment on anything as far as what I say. So I'm a non-fanboy, and that goes for every company. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, good or bad, about the product, and we'll see how it goes. This is the drone mask, and we'll take a look at the construction. We'll start from this side. This is the part that goes against your face. It has a nice kind of foam padding along the edge here. This arc area is where it fits over the bridge of your nose. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But the padding is actually very soft, and then of course you can see the lens on the inside, which is what you view the cell phone through. So this, you know, this part is good quality. The whole body is made of a pretty rugged plastic material. On the top here, it's covered with a kind of a fabric material that also is, it's very durable. It's not going to get scratched up or anything. It does have an adjustable headband, and that works very well. The compartment on the top of the device opens up, and here's where you put your cell phone, and then again you can see the lens from the other side there. I don't know if you can see through it or not on this camera, but you can see the lens from the other side, and that's really all there is to it. These clips hold the phone in place. The zipper is a good quality zipper. Overall, the build quality on this thing is really good. Now, there are things out there that you can get that are less expensive than this. They're like cardboard or cheap plastic things that you kind of stick your cell phone on, and that's really about where the similarity ends. The build quality on this is a lot more rugged, a lot more durable, but the real secret is the lens inside. This is a patented lens that they developed for the drone mask, and it is a single lens that actually displays the entire screen of your cell phone into each eye. And the net result of that is, normally they would be split up, so you would see part of your screen on one eye and part of your screen on the other. Well, this has a single lens setup where you see the whole screen in each eye, and the net result of that is that the screen looks actually about 4 times larger than you would in a traditional VR headset or a split lens type situation. I said I'd come back to this little arc right here, and I will. As you can see, it's a hard plastic piece, and this is what goes around your nose. If you don't seat the mask properly on your face while you're flying, this little piece here can rub against your nose a little bit, and that can be kind of irritating. I would encourage you to get a piece of foam or a piece of cotton or something like that and just put it on top of your nose when you put on the mask, and then that'll keep this from rubbing, and it'll also probably hold it more steadily on your face. All right, let's talk about how you put this thing together and how you set it up to use. Obviously, the first thing you do, you adjust the straps on the heads, on the head straps, so it fits on your head comfortably, but holds it firmly in place. Then it's a pretty simple matter from there. You just unzip this like I showed you. It's a 2-part zipper, and this opens up. Now we're going to take our phone and plug our cord in, and then you see these 2 clips here. I'm going to put the clip in on one side and then put the other clip up on the other. There. This, by the way, is a Samsung Galaxy 10 Plus, I think is what it's called. It's a larger phone, and you can see it fits in there. You're probably not going to get much of a bigger device in. So this is not for touchpads, but you don't need a device that big once you put this on and you see how big it is through the mask. Anyway, so this is in place. Now all I have to do is close it and zip it so that the 2 sides of the zippers come up snug against the cable that's coming out. Then this plugs into my controller and it's all set. One nice feature on this mask I'd forgotten to mention is the slider, this piece here, will slide in and out. It moves the lens a little closer or further away from your eyes, so it adjusts to your vision. And you can slide, you put it on and then you slide it down. There, it's all the way down, or you pull it out. Now it's all the way out. As you can see, that's pretty firmly in place. So you put this on, if you move your head around, it's not going to slide in or out. It's going to stay right where you leave it. Setting up the drone mask is easy, as I showed you, but what was difficult was finding a cable that would work as that's long enough to work for the mask, that would connect and function properly with my Mavic controller. I bought 2 different cables from Amazon and tried them, and they should have worked, but they just couldn't get down into the drone well enough to really connect up and sync up for me. The solution I did find was this extension. Rather than replacing the cable that came with the drone with a new cable, I took the cable that came with the drones, connected to that, and plugged it into this female end, and then I plugged this into the drone mask, and it works like a champ. I've got a link in the description below so you can get this extension cable. Save yourself some money from trying out different ones. This one works, and it's only like 13 bucks. Obviously, for me to use something like this, there has to be the room and the space in the design of this product for me to wear it over my glasses. I probably could fly it without my glasses because the thing is so close to my face, but I don't want to. I want to be able to take it off and immediately see what's going on around me. That's a safety consideration as far as I'm concerned. So it has to fit over the glasses, and fortunately it does. Just take that off, put it on the back of your head, pull it out, and just lay it right over your glasses, and it fits just fine. It's very comfortable. It's not bothering my glasses at all. One thing I'll say about this thing is the weight. There is, it does have some weight to it, and with my cell phone in there, there's a little bit more weight. I will weigh this and put the information on the screen as to how much it is, but I don't find this to be terribly difficult. I've flown with it, and I was able to do a full flight with it with no fatigue on my neck or no feeling of wear based on how heavy this thing is front loaded out in front of my face. Let's talk a little bit about safety. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I tend to be a bit of an old nag when it comes to safety questions, and that's the way I am. It's just the way it's going to be. So let's talk about safety with this and with goggles in general, because what I'm going to say here applies to any goggles or VR set or anything like that you use. Obviously, the goal of this device is to block out all or most all of the sunlight coming in from the sides, so you have a clear view of what's going on inside. That means that you lose any vision on anything that's going around you, and you lose sight of even what's happening in front of you, other than what the drone camera is pointed at. So you got to be careful when you're using any kind of device like this, that you're not relying solely on this when you're flying around trees or poles or certainly people or buildings or whatever. You want to make sure you're flying in a clear area. So what I'm saying is that I wouldn't use this thing exclusively for the entire flight. I would take off and position my aircraft, get it up high enough so I'm clear of obstructions, and then to fly out to the place where I'm flying, I put the mask on. Now I've got the mask on. Now I can navigate and fly to wherever I want to go and get the shots. And then when I want to move to another position, I can take the mask off. And again, I'm working with my normal vision here, and I can fly and go to the next spot that I want to fly. It's a little bit more wonky to have to fly that way, but it does resolve the concern about flying totally FPV with this thing, and even to the point of launching or landing the aircraft. You got to make sure you're using this device intelligently and safely. There is one other thing to consider when you're using something like this. Obviously, the cell phone's enclosed in this case, and you're wearing it on your face, so you can't get to the touchscreen to make changes. So if you want to do things like change your ISO, or you want to change to a different shooting mode or something like that, you're limited to what you can do through your controller while you're flying with this, unless you take it off, unzip it, make your changes, and then put it back together and put it on. Not the most convenient thing to have to do, but boy, it sure makes a difference to what you're seeing, at least when you have this thing on. Hopefully I'm in camera. I'm going to do a real quick flight with the Evo 2 Pro. I've got it all set up. I'm going to launch it and get it up in the air, make sure it's hovering properly. Then I'm going to put the mask on and see how it flies. Virtually nothing around the edge here, and the screen is remarkably bright. Now that the drone's not between me and the camera, I'll say it again, the screen is really bright and it's huge. It's like flying a drone while watching your screen on a big screen TV. So it's really, really nice to be able to see everything. All the telemetry is very clear, information along the sides. If you're flying the DJI Fly app, that some of the things that they have on the screen up near the top and everything, those are really small. The icons and everything are really small. So you'll be able to see those things very clearly while you're wearing this mask. I've mentioned a couple times, I think, in this episode that this thing costs $170, $169, I think it is. The cool thing about that price is that it includes shipping worldwide through DHL, and it also includes taxes and VATs and all those things from almost every country in the world. So that's the price you pay for this thing delivered to your door. Now here's the real cool news. They have provided me with a discount code. Discount code's on screen right now. Jeff Sibelius, I believe, is the code. You punch that in, and they're going to knock another $10 off the price of your purchase. So you get it for $159 as opposed to $169 or $170. So that's a good deal. So let's sum all this up. I think the DroneMask is a terrific option to do what I was describing doing with it within the confines of the safety limitations and the access to the touchscreen that's inherent in any type of VR mask or goggles or any device like this. It's extremely well built. This thing's going to last for a long time. The quality of the screen itself inside is tremendous. You can see the screen on your cell phone beautifully. It's huge. For the cost that you pay for it, I think it's a really good deal. And yeah, I don't have a lot of bad things. I'm sounding like a fanboy, but I'm not. I've been just as rigorous on this as with any other product. So I've got almost nothing negative to say about it. The only thing, this thing tends to rub your nose unless you put something on your nose to pad it. And I guess that's really about it. I think this thing is an outstanding product. It gets a thumbs up from me. Again, use the Jeff Sibelius discount code to get $10 off of it. The purchase link is in the description below. And have fun using this thing. Just be safe, as I said before, but have fun using it.